So I want to define some terms before I offer my explanation. First, authoritarian. When I say authoritarian, I mean state, just state-based government, uh, like what we currently live under right now. Most governments around the world are state-based. They are authoritarian. And authoritarian socialism is state-based socialism, which would be Marxism or China, Cuba, things like that. And then there's libertarian socialism, which is non-state based. Libertarian socialism are your anarchists and your syndicalists and your mutualists, ideologies of that nature. If I remember correctly, both the founders of the Green Party were libertarian socialists. So fundamentally, the Green Party is a non-state based socialist party, even though they participate in state practices. And among Marxists and anarchists, there has been this nearly 200-year argument about how to organize society through either what we like to call a top-down authority system or a horizontal authority system. In the book On Authority by Friedrich Engels, Friedrich argues about what authority is and against anarchists and how they are misunderstood about what authority is, and basically anarchists are authoritarians, but they don't want to admit. Now, if we were to define what a state is, I think the definition that's used sometimes that a state is a entity or system that holds a monopoly on violence. And of course, this violence is enforced through a military and a policing system of some kind. Now, Marxism is a system that says that there should be a withering away of the state. And this is supposed to be done through governmental policies that would give more power, more independence to the citizens, and eventually it would make the state obsolete. And one of the ways of making the state obsolete is through the abolition of private property. So why do I believe in authoritarian style socialism? And the main reason is just because of how I can logically see society better getting towards communism. Now, I would like some anarchists to just make sure that I'm right in what I say. If I'm not right, please correct me and try to inform everybody about exactly what's going on. But anarchists believe in the immediate seizure of the state and the immediate abolition of the state. The problem with this is that how are you going to have an army to defend your new society against the opposing capitalist forces that would exist when you overthrow this state? And we have a historical example of this with what happened during the Spanish Civil War, where the Spanish anarchists took control of their local area, and they had things under control for a while, but then eventually they started using what were basically labeled authoritarian tactics. And this can be argued that at that point you're basically just recreating Marxism. And it's because of this one little particular argument, this particular disagreement, that anarchists, libertarian socialists, and Marxists, authoritarian socialists, have been fighting and arguing for the last nearly 200 years. Now you have a example of a successful society, the Zapatistas, with what they were able to achieve, but from my understanding, they mixed a lot of different systems to their advantage. Now, it would be great for us to learn from the Zapatistas on what they did to employ, and there are some things about their system that I agree with. I think that we really should include indigenous tactics and thoughts in our system. Specifically, in America, our type of socialism is not going to be like socialism around the world in Russia or China or Cuba. It will be a North American style socialism, but I feel like we would have to have some type of state to help facilitate all the resources and jobs, I guess, to make sure everything runs smoothly. Now, anarchists will say that the people can govern themselves, that, and I've seen this. I've seen that people can govern themselves. They can get themselves in order. But I work in a factory, and I've worked in warehouses, and I've worked in areas where I could see how a top-down authoritative system helps facilitate workflow. And I don't necessarily reject anarchism 100% outright. I believe that if you can make it work and you have a system that's recreatable and applicable, then I am all for that. This is why Marxists believe in scientific socialism, using the scientific process to learn, experiment, apply, and then learn new things to make socialism better for everyone.